Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Shadowrun Dragonfall. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today as we talk to Dr. Zabiel X. Kibel about, he sent me a message. So what does he want? Business, he says. I have a job for you. Well, I'm always interested in hearing about new business opportunities. Good, he says. So let's get down to brass tacks, shall we? Back before I immigrated here from my native Spain, I worked in a partnership with a Berlin-based R&D lab. The biotech that they were developing was very, very hush-hush, very cutting-edge. Our arrangement was that I would bankroll their research, and they, in turn, would provide me with unique merchandise to sell in my clinics. Clinics? You had more than one? Oh, certainly. I must confess that before I moved to Berlin, I was something of a celebrity doctor. Yeah, it's the hair, you see. I had a chain of triage clinics that stretched from Bilbao to Madrid. I was a very wealthy man. But then my name was slandered, and the fickle mistress that is public perception turned against me. An ugly business, I assure you. Even talking about my fall from grace makes my stomach turn. The injustice of it all is almost too much to bear. Yes. I'm sure it is. I love that that line is there because I was going to say that. And also, I will have to read the first and the third line there. But also, it is, like, this is in contrast to Glory's storyline. I'm pretty sure it's written to be a parallel. Not a parallel as in, you know, we're not necessarily talking about them, both of these quests happening at the same time, because it's probably just a side quest, and Glory's storyline is going to be all throughout the game. But it does happen at the same time, in the sense that I don't think you can get Glory's dialogue of what she of her childhood and her awakening earlier than we got, and it's all in the same time. This guy also talks to us right now, so yeah, ugly business makes his stomach turn. Him falling from grace, being super rich, and then not being as super rich. I'm sure it is. Let's see what the other ones are, though. Just, how was your name slandered? What did they accuse you of? Or, alright, just skip to the end. Oh, I kind of want to go with this. Let's go with this. We don't get to learn about that. Actually, you know what? We do get to learn about that. As much fun as it is choosing a line that you actually come up with without reading it, it's so fun when that happens. Especially because, well, it's fun when you're trying to be... Aggressive is not the word, but like... oh, I have a quick save. I don't know if that is the correct save. We'll see. Hopefully it is. But we have a save right here, so it's not a problem. It's always fun to choose a line, especially when... a line that you came up with without reading it, but especially when it is lines that are you being a little bit on the aggressive side of things. So, just how was your name slandered? He sighs. What didn't they accuse me of? He asks. Theft, medical malpractice, the sale of stolen goods, other more colorful accusations that do not bear repeating. But that was then, and this is now. I came here to Berlin to escape all of that. Of course, I also moved here to be closer to the lab that I had funded, and the merchandise that I am owed. Oh, so let me guess, you want me to go fetch your merchandise? Yes, he says, and to find out what happened to the lab itself. The facility is locked down, you see, nearly impenetrable, and I have no idea why. As I was packing to move to Berlin, all was well. 16 hours later, I arrived to discover the building locked tight, with my merchandise inside. The Turk, Altug, has been running surveillance on the site since I set up shop here. In that time, no one has entered and no one has left. Whatever went wrong in there, it must have killed the research team. I want you to find a way into the building and recover the cyber tech that they were developing and find out what happened to the researchers in that order. Well, the order doesn't really matter. I think the order here being the order of priority, potentially. If your merchandise has been sitting in this building for 2 years, why didn't you approach Monica about this? Who says that I didn't? He asks. I had a, let's say, tumultuous friendship with your dear departed Monica. We had our ups and downs, you see, and on this subject, she was most certainly down. That was her choice. I'm hoping that you will be savvy enough not to make the same mistake. Well, if the building has been abandoned, I'm surprised that the lot isn't sitting on... the lot it's sitting on hasn't been gobbed up by some corp or another. Oh, don't be. Back when I was a wealthy man, before my legal troubles, I paid the lease for a decade in advance. And you can see some insights into whether he's telling the truth or not here. He says his legal troubles. Slender, or being... Oh, wait. Oh, that might... it's kind of complicated here. It's kind of complicated here. I think... I mean, it's not a sure fire bullet. But as these things go, it probably is an indication of what the truth lies. Or where the truth lies, rather. Now, he said that he was slandered. And that his public perception faded away. That is very different from having public troubles. Because, I don't know, if you have a restaurant... did I say public troubles? I meant legal troubles. If you have a restaurant and everybody likes your food and somebody starts shouting outside of your restaurant that your food has rats in it. It's got rats in it, they say. Yeah, that's slander. Actually, that would be libel. Would it be libel? Yes. Is it the other... Yes, I think that's how it goes. I never remember which one is which, because I know that I made a mnemonic device once, and then I was wrong about that, so I am forever confused for the rest of my life about which one is which. But anyway, libel is, I think, this is the order. Libel is spoken, slander is written, and he says slander specifically, which might actually be another insight about what exactly is going on. But you wouldn't describe you going out of business because everybody thinks your food has rats in it as legal troubles. Now, you might be in legal proceedings if you sue the person who's shouting that your food has rats in it, if you sue them for libel, but that's legal proceedings, not legal troubles. The other person is the one who gets in legal troubles. Now, it is possible that you are being wrongfully accused of, like, I mean, in the case of the rats in the food, that you are being wrongfully accused of having rats in it. And what can happen is that instead of shouting outside of the window or outside of your establishment, they actually sue you for having rats in the food. And that would be in written form. Now, if you are trying to discredit those accusations, be them in a legal context or not, it doesn't matter, but they're written, you might qualify those accusations as slanderous. And you actually might be able to countersue, but it depends on the systems and whatever. But either way, the point is you get sued for having rats in it, your public perception goes down, and then you can countersue for slander, which, yeah, basically, that's not you being accused of slander. Or rather, that's not you being accused of slander, but that is not you being slandered, but until you actually succeed at proving that your food didn't have rats in it. All I'm saying is that he probably was sued for all those things that he said, instead of just being publicly shamed. And so him leading with, oh, I was slandered, is him trying to attenuate what the real impact of I was sued, or falsely sued for theft and all the other stuff. So, yeah, that's all I'm saying here. It's subtle enough, and it's not 100%. I like this is not like a surefire thing, but it's subtle enough that it makes me think that his legal trial. He's not rich because he probably had to pay. That's Sky. Like he was probably successfully convicted or something. I don't know. And before you say anything, he says, "Yes, it was a huge expense." Wait, look at that. Before my legal troubles, I paid the lease for a decade in advance. He says, and it was a huge expense. But what's locked away inside of that lab is worth 10 times what I've spent on it. I don't want anyone laying claim to it but me. All right, let's talk compensation. What's in this for me? I can offer you 2,000 new yen, plus first crack at whatever biotech you recover from the site. I will, of course, have to change or to charge you for anything that you want to have installed, but I can provide it to you at a discount. This is top-of-the-line hardware here that we're talking about, mind you. Better than anything else that I've got in stock, and because it's biotech, the essence loss from implanting it will be minimal. It's a good idea, or it's a good deal. Win-win for you, really. So what's it going to be? Will it take the job or not? Actually, I will, because I wanna do the job. Also, he says he paid the lease and not the rent. If you're leasing an apartment, 10 years. I mean, in certain circumstances, that paying the lease for that much might be enough to just buy the apartment outright. Because the way leases work, as far as I'm aware, is you lease something for a certain period of time, and then at the end, you have the option of buying the equipment, or you don't buy the equipment and you have to get new ones because they take it back. Because the equipment is not yours. So, and the way that works is usually that people, the way those, as far as I know anyway, the way leases work, because you can lease anything. You can lease a car, an apartment, a computer, whatever. But the way it works, the way banks make money with that, is that usually people will want to buy the equipment outright at the end, but the equipment will be worth a lot less than the optional value. And I don't have personal experience doing leases, but I do know some people who have done leases, and that's basically how it turns out. They end up basically, it's basically a loan. It's literally a loan, but in the sense that it's basically you get to pay for the thing that you have for a little bit longer than having to pay it all up front. And because of the fallback, because of the equipment is not actually yours, there's more guarantee for the bank that their losses won't be tremendous, because the car is theirs, or the apartment is theirs. So if you don't pay, or if you don't want to buy the thing at the end, actually not buying the thing at the end is not ideal for the bank. Although in the case of a building, that might not be the case. Actually, in the case of a building, that probably is the case, that the bank doesn't want to sell it to you at the end. But anyway, it's weird that he didn't just buy the thing outright. It's probably, actually, considering this is like cyberpunk and dystopic and stuff, it's probably impossible to own buildings. Only the corporations have it. So you can only lease them or rent them. All right, Doc, come in. Excellent. The facility that you're looking for is the former laboratory of Shadowrun Bioscience. Take the U-Bahn to the Adenauerplatz, and you're sure to find it. Best of luck. Do you see how I stop before saying Adenauerplatz? That is... Oh, I don't have the BioWare samples. You're back. Do you have the merchandise? I have not even taken a step. Either way, we're good. Yeah, that me stopping is, of course, me reading the word before I say it. And it sometimes happens with professional voice actors. And I point it out when it happens. I sometimes point it out when it happens. Not in this Let's Play, but in other Let's Plays. And the reason I know that is what is happening is because it happens to me. It happens to everybody. You're reading a thing. You stop to read it before you say it out loud. So it's like, of course you're going to do that. Anyway, we have another communication that we got. I don't know if it was last episode or a couple of episodes back. But it's Gunari Metback over here. And can't save while in action, but that's fine. Let's just save. There it is. Welcome back. You need some weapons, some ammunition, perhaps. I got your message about that missing shipment. How can I help? He nods. Aye. A gang from a nearby Kias has been hijacking shipments bound for the cruise bazaar, taking money out of our pockets. I could use your help to stop this from happening. Your dear departed Monica. That's interesting. Dear departed Monica. That is the same exact phrasing that the doctor used. And I'm going to put it up to both of these interactions having been written by the same person at the same day, probably. Because that's a very specific way of phrasing it, and I don't think there's cultural significance to that specifically that way of phrasing it. It's not like they're trying to tell me something or anything. I think it's just probably written by the same person. But anyway, your dear departed Monica used to provide encryption and information control for the cruise bazaar. Now that she's gone, we merchants have been having no end of trouble. The obvious answer is that a gang has been intercepting our communications. What kind of communications? Shipping manifests, payment orders, that kind of thing. A group with an agenda could use that information to set an ambush, and that's just what this gang has been doing. Several cargo trucks full of goods have already been hijacked en route to the cruise bazaar. I had a tracking device placed on the last shipment that I sent out. Containers full of weapons and medical supplies. Sure enough, it got taken, and I've tracked it to Gesundbrunnen. If you've never been there, it's a Kies built out of an old U-Bahn station and some old bunkers. Rumor has it a new gang called the Rabengeister is holed up there. I suspect that the two things are related. So I need you to go to Gesundbrunnen, find the Rabengeister, and get our goods back. I can offer you 500 new yen for the task, and if you can recover our missing weapon shipments, I'll be able to sell you some better hardware too. Can you tell me anything else about this gang, the Rabengeister? Not much, I'm afraid. From what I've heard, the Rabengeister are tricky. They have a reputation for stirring up trouble, then disappearing without a trace. I will tread carefully in Gesundbrunnen if I were you. How do I get there? Just take the U-Bahn. The line still runs, though not many folks stop at Gesundbrunnen anymore. The market there used to be something of a tourist attraction, but I think they have fallen on hard times recently. Yeah, I'll take care of it. Good. It's about time I had some new inventory come in. And one more thing, Edie. I'm gonna need you to go in light on this one. Take a friend along if you like, but no more than one. If you spook them, they could trash the merchandise. Best be quiet. Best go soon, too, before the trail goes cold. I would like to best go soon. Dang it. Okay, well, that is a problem and a half. That is a problem and a half. I'm just coming here to the cafe because I want to make sure that other dude is still here. Yeah. Luca. You have an audition to attend, Edie? Yes, I know. And that's the audition that I'm going to attend right now, in fact. The U-Bahn is over there. So we're going to do that mission. I'm not really sure how it's going to turn out. But we're going to run with other people. Look at all that. Look at all the options here. So, travel to Frankfurter Tor to meet Luca Duer's team. Off we go. It's gonna be fine. Oh no, I drank all my coffee. I can't drink more coffee. I was gonna drink the rest. As the U-Bahn hums towards the Frankfurter Tor, you tug idly at the fabric of your maintenance uniform. You found it in a duffel bag on your seat when you boarded, along with a note from Duer to put it on before your arrival. It read, "The moment you step off this train, your trial run begins. You are to rendezvous with the rest of your team, reconnoiter the building, and plant the specified devices, plural, in Aleshire's suite, I believe. Suite, yes. Beyond that, your approach will be left to you. Do not disappoint us. You are being watched." And the game has autosaved. And I'm being watched. Trial Run is the name of the mission. And I really hope that this doesn't spoil the weapons run. Or whatever the thing is for the weapons. Because I want to do that soon as well. As you emerge from the dingy confines of the U-Bahn terminal and step into the light of day, you find yourself confronted by a wall of muscle in a knight-errant uniform. Knight-errant, I believe, is a company. It's a corporation. Your maintenance. Or you're with maintenance, says the knight-errant. It's a grenadier. Oh my god, look at that thing. It isn't a question. He stands impassively, waiting for a response. Yes, sir. Have you seen any other maintenance guys around here? Yeah, they've been trickling in over the last 15 minutes or so. I've already done a security check on your entire crew. Everything checked out. So you're good to head on into the building whenever you want. Efficient operation you're running here. It's almost as if you were expecting me. We were. No one gets on or off that train without us knowing about it. Don't worry. All of the correct paperwork has already been filed. You and your crew are good for the next 12 hours. There should be plenty of time for us to finish up what we're doing, what we're working on. I'd assume so. It was your management that submitted the paperwork after all. Thank you for your time. He nods at you. Have a good one. He is a troll, I would think. That's why that's so big. And I think I really am not sure now that Knight Errant isn't something else other than a corporation, or maybe a group of a corporation. A young dwarf looks up at you, wide-eyed with apprehension. From the way that she is fidgeting, you can tell that she's terrified. She bites her lower lip, eyes darting from side to side. Finally, she takes a step toward you. Hello? Are you Mr. Edie? Yes, that's me. Am I late? No, you're right on time. The rest of us got here early, and one of the others was pretty vocal about not wanting to wait. He took off, and the other guy followed him. They're already inside. Let me get this straight. They charged on into the building, and you didn't... Well, I guess that's blaming her. Let's not blame her necessarily. I think she did the right thing in waiting here. Certainly from a selfish perspective, it's good that she's here, otherwise I'd be lost. Great, that's just great. This is sarcasm, obviously. The dwarf wrings her hands. I'm sorry, I told them to wait, but they didn't listen. They just muscled on past me and waltzed through the front door. Alright, calm down. I see that you have a toolbox. Are you a rigger or something? She swallows. Well, no. I'm not like you, not like the others. You should probably know that. Oh. I think she means she's not a Shadowrunner. But you'll have to clarify that. Violence makes me sick to my stomach. I've never broken into a building or stolen anything in my life. I guess that what I'm trying to say is that I'm not a criminal. I'm just an electrician. Oh. If you're not a Shadowrunner, what are you doing on this crew? Her face flushes red. I'd rather not talk about it. Let's just say that someone did me a favor once, and that coming along on this thing is how I have to pay it back. Look, in the end, it doesn't matter. I have to be on this run, and you have to bring me along. It's what they want. Shadowrunning is dangerous enough without having to babysit people like you. Yeah, well, I feel for you. If it's any consolation, I don't want to be here either. But I don't have a choice, understand? You do what they say, whether you want to or not. I get that. Are you sure the others went inside? Yeah, I watched them storm through the front doors of the building that were going to hit about 10 minutes ago. Son of a bitch. They'll still be on the first floor. Nobody's getting upstairs until I bypass the security locks on the elevator. That's why I decided to wait for you out here. I figured they couldn't get too far ahead of us if I didn't go inside with them. Yeah, good thinking. Thanks. I just hope that they don't screw things up in there. All that I want is to get this thing over with and get back home. Right there with you. Let's head inside. Yeah, okay. Let's do this. Okay. So we have what is effectively a civilian, because Shadowrunners are outlaws, in the sense that they are outside of the law all the time, and they can be killed at any time without justification by the cops. A mid-level corporate compound complete with living spaces on the upper floor, I believe. And when I say cops, I mean also private security contractors, because that's how Shadowrun. That's how Shadowrun. Okay, so this is this is a fighting arena is what it is. I can't interact with them. Why not? Interesting that they don't talk to me. Okay, let's look around. What is this? It's too high to reach. Seriously? Me being an orc, that does not look too high to reach. Maybe it does, actually. I'm not sure. I mean, I could lift her up and she would reach it, and then could not hoist it down. What's the word? When you know, unhook the ladder or whatever that is. Don't you have somewhere to be? Asks that guy. I didn't expect that guy to actually talk to me. We do have somebody that is gonna talk to us, a waitress. Huh. But we're out of time for the day, so we're gonna have to talk to the waitress in the next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Dragonrun Shadowfall. Let's go with that. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.